Hello everybody. We're going to take an opportunity today to kind of look over some things in Google. Especially we're just going to look at Google Docs. Right now all of you are starting to get comfortable with using the Google account, which was just given to you recently. And so we're just going to navigate around Google a little bit so you have an opportunity to see how Google Docs works in a very basic format. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to one of my browsers. You might have Internet Explorer, Safari, Firefox. I'm going to use Google Chrome today. And so as I access Google Chrome, you'll see that it looks like standard, Google setup. If you don't have a web browser where it goes straight to Google, you can just type in www.google.com. Okay. And right over here, top right hand corner, you're going to click sign in. You're going to type in your email address. And then password, which is obviously something you have set yourself. And now you're in your account. And you know that for myself, I have a picture up here. For some of you, it might be, it just says your Michael _DePasquale or whatever your username is. What we're going to do today is you'll see that it has many options. And if you click this kind of gridded tile here, you'll see all the different options that you have. You can actually get into Google+, which is a very interesting feature. Google Sites, you can make websites that if you chose to do that. Mail is a way to obviously do your email, calendar, and then Drive. And today we're going to kind of focus on Drive, which will also get into these, which is Docs, which is essentially Microsoft Word, Sheets is Excel, Slides is your kind of PowerPoint, and then there's many other choices down here. Some of them you will have and some of you won't, just depending on what you're doing in regards to your level of where you're at in your membership with Google. So we're going to go to Google Drive. We're going to click on here and it's going to populate all your files. Now obviously you can see I've been using Google Drive for quite some time. Nice thing is it can organize in many different ways. You can either do it by list view, which makes a nice list. You can do it alphabetically and sort it, last modified, by name. You can go back to grid view. And you'll see the nice thing about the grid view is it has all these folders. So you can create folders to organize yourself, okay? And you'll also see that you can share. You'll see some of these have little bodies or heads inside of the folder. That means it's been shared with somebody, which is a really nice feature. But for today, we're going to talk about just creating a Google Doc. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to go and click New. And it gives you several choices, including creating a folder. You can even upload a whole file or upload a whole folder. There's some other options. Google Forms is awesome. It's a great tool, something that we'll definitely discuss down the road. But Google Docs is where we're going to focus, which is essentially like Microsoft Word. So we're going to create a new one. And you'll see it's a very straightforward word processing, word editing, document editing software that's right on the web. So the nice thing is you can do it without actually purchasing or owning the software. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change the title of my document. So for this one, it's just going to be demonstration document. Okay. Click on OK. And here's the beautiful thing. As you change things, it will always save it on its own. You don't have to actually save it. See, every change you make is automatically saved in Drive. The other nice thing is you can actually click on that and it will give you over here on the right side a revision history of when the document was worked on, which is really nice, especially when we get into the shared features. So today we have a document we're creating. See, I already made a misspell there. Hello, my name is. Okay. And very simple document. Once again, it's all saved. So if I X out or do something silly, it's there for me. You can obviously use pretty much all the other features normal document editor does. I will say that Word, as you can see, has some more features, but this is very, very functional. Has spell checking and all the other things that your students and yourself will appreciate having. So once I have that document created, it's saved. That if I X out, I can look, and here's a nice thing. You can go up to your search and type in demonstration. It'll find it for you, okay, and open it right back up, and here we are. And I didn't save it. I missed my punctuation there, put a period, and I can go ahead and click right back out without even hitting save. And if I go back to that demonstration, there it is. You'll see it's there with the additional punctuation there. Other thing I will inform you of is that there are some options over here that are very useful. You can actually share the file with somebody. So if I click on share and type in a fellow teacher or anybody that's in our portage.k12.in.us domain, they will appear there because obviously it's populated with us. So for example, if I wanted to send something to Mr. Mike Sell, there's David right there. I can click on that and you can see that he's been added, and you can add as many as you want. Dave doesn't know that I'm sending this, so I'll let him know. And he'll get that note. And then you'll see that you can edit, give them the option of what they can do to it. They can edit the document. They can comment on the document. They also can view the document. So if it's view, that means they can see it, but they can't change it. Comment means they can put comments to the side, but not on the document itself, and then can edit. We're going to keep it at can edit just so it's at the most editable feature. The other cool thing is you can actually click on a shareable link. It will actually give you a link to your document via the web, and that's how you can share to people. And you have to be very careful. There's many options here. Okay, you can turn it off only to people, only specific people can have access, or you can say I want anyone at Portage Township Schools with this link can edit it, can comment, can view. And then you can even go public with it if you want, public on the web. Obviously, you want to be very careful with that process and double check it, but you can copy that link and get it out. This is really useful for surveys or in regards to you want to have, give the option of as many people as possible to get to it without actually having to individually contact it. You could put it on a web page and people could click on that link if they wanted to. So very nice feature. So I would obviously send this off, okay, to Dave Mikesell, and now he'll get that, and it says shared with one person. And now Dave has that for him to comment or actually edit, because I actually shared it with him. If you click share, once again, you can add more. You'll see that it shows you who you've been adding it with. This will be a feature with your students. So once we give your students their accounts, they'll have that same feature where you can actually add students on a document that you might want them to work on. And remember, you have those levels of how much they can get into it. So you could give them a reading passage and only allow them to comment on it on the side. Or you could do a shared file where everybody can edit. And the nice thing about it is when they're in their account and working on your file, it'll actually show you who wrote that. So there's that accountability with the students, which is important. There's some more advanced settings that you can choose from, and obviously that is something that as you get more comfortable you can look at. Okay. When you're doing editing, you can edit the document directly, which means you can get in there and just write right in there. So I want to change it to Mike DePasquale. Okay. Or you can do suggesting, and that edits become suggestions. So for example, down here, I can place in that edit suggestion and that keeps that there for them, and somebody can actually reply to that. Okay. And then you can actually accept that suggestion. Or you can go to comments only or with viewing, and you can actually do a read and print a final. But if you do comments, that comes to the side. You can add comments as you go. Comment. So as the student gets there, they can see that this was suggested by me, and you can actually look at the different comments that are there on suggestions and different comments. It's a really wonderful feature. And as this all gets added, it actually becomes a part of the document. So it's just very, very organic. Departments would be a wonderful way to share and collaborate ideas. Having a meeting, ability to actually have a meeting without going face-to-face on some things. The other thing I suggest that you can do is, for example, and I will go back to like our technology, we have a district technology committee, and we have a shared folder. You'll see in just a second. There's the technology committee shared folder. And instead of writing an agenda and having somebody take minutes, a suggestion is that you actually write your agenda, share the agenda with everybody, and now everybody in the group can actually share ideas. That's why there's all these different colors, because it represents different people adding to the discussion and adding to the ideas and topics. And you can see some people put in the comments area, and it's a very, very useful way of sharing ideas and topics. And now you have minutes that are authentic and real, because it's not being scribed by a single person. It's actually being contributed by several other people. So very nice way of doing things. So this is a very basic, like I said, just example of getting started with Google and Google Drive. I will just run down this left-hand column here again. You can create new files or folders, or do some uploads if you want to upload a file. You also have the ability to see which ones have been shared with you. So you can click and say, okay, I wanted to see, maybe something that was sent by, for right now we're working with 5-Star Technologies. Your most recent files, okay? You can actually favorite or star files. I don't have that myself. And then obviously your trash can. I want to also let you know that this works with not only just the docs, but it works with Sheets, Slide, and then, like I said, we'll get into Google Forms, which in the email that you just received in regards to setting up your Google account, that was exactly what we did. Is I set up a Google Form so that it can get immediate feedback from you in regards to those of you that it may have not worked. Just another thing that all of you should be aware of, you want to make sure when you're logged in that you see the Portage Township Schools logo. That logo is essentially a way of letting you know that you are in the portage.k12.in.us domain, which is quite important. I hope this was helpful for all of you. If you have any questions, you're always welcome to email me, michael.dipasquale@portage.k12.in.us. Right now, just a reminder, we're not using the Gmail as our email system. We're still using Outlook that we've been using, so nothing has changed in regards to email. Obviously, we're going to be probably looking at that down the road. So once again, thank you for your time, and hope this was helpful for you.